Let's see if we're gonna be live yet. It looks like it probably is. Gotta give a second. Already got the controller on. I did enable the controls so you can see kind of what the controls are doing. I haven't even tried it yet, so I don't know what it looks like on screen physically. So let's see here. I'm gonna set my timer because I got a bunch of stuff to do tonight. And timer 1 hour, and give myself an hour and 5 minutes. Oh, let's see here. Oh god, another ad is playing. I didn't skip in time. And skip ad. All right, hour and 5 minutes on the timer, and start. All right, cool. So let's go to Velocidrone. Let me see here. I got to go to scene. And there it is. Okay, cool. I guess I'll go to single player still. I think I'm going to try the race boards this time, just so I can try to get a little practice in with some, set obstacles. Let's go to basketball stadium. Look, it's got a little check mark here. I think I've tried to fly this one before. That's why it's already checked, maybe. Let's go to this one. Now, it's going to take me, I don't even know what this board looks like, so it's probably going to take me a few tries just to figure out what the heck is going on. Look at that, you can see my controllers. Oh, wow. So, let's just look around this thing. And immediate crashes. Love it. Love it. Super talented. Oh my god. Also, I don't even know. I forgot to go buy the mini whoop drone packet for this thing. Oh my god! So there's like a net there. That's cool. All right, I'm just gonna see if I can get a hang of like flying through some stuff because I'm feeling a little shaky from the other day. Not shaky isn't the right word. But clearly I don't know what I'm doing. So I guess the deal is I really need to kind of learn the course. Protocol cosplay, hello. I am doing my every other night drone practice, as you can see. Set my hour timer. And trying to figure out how to do these stupid gates here because these little tight, oh my god, these little tight turn things are not my strong suit yet. So I got to try to get them down because it's going to improve my flying. And every time I think I'm ready for these, I immediately start crashing a whole bunch. But I feel like if I force myself to do them, then I'll be okay. We're going to start, and then I'm just going to try to learn this course. We'll see what happens. Should be good. I set up to do a video about my droid shorts, so I can just show them to everybody, and I try to record it like 10 times, and I'm an idiot and I just can't pull it off for some reason. It's too much information, so I'm gonna almost have to script it, which is not a thing I typically do. Oh my god, there's got a net around this. Oh my god. So basically I'm gonna have to script it out so that I can not get too lost in the weeds. And now it's turning into a whole thing that's gonna require edits. And you know me, I'm like a lazy YouTuber, so I typically will just make my videos and then, oh my god, this is hard. I'll make my videos and then just post them and no edits or anything. But this one's going to require some edits, probably some reference images so that people know what I'm talking about. I feel like a lot of the builders don't really know what the heck is going on. So I've always wanted a drone, but the regulations around them are too much for me. I want a little handheld drone that can take pictures and videos and not need FAA clearance and all that stuff. So, where's my other drone? It's not. I have it right over here. The DJI Minis are under the. They're like 249 grams or something. So they come in just under what is required for all the legal stuff. So you can actually get by all the legal kind of issues. Technically, you're supposed to still have a license if you're like making video and stuff with it for for profit, but you can fly them around all over, take photos. It's and they're quiet and they fold up really small. It's like the little drones like this big. You can literally put it in your pocket. And the controller, I actually have. This is one of the battery chargers for that drone. So the batteries are like this big. Come out. They're like this. This is the battery pack, and what's kind of cool is this like multi-charger. You can use this as like a phone backup. So if you have all your batteries charged, you can plug in like a USB here and charge your phone or whatever off of it, which is very handy. But that drone is great. It's real quiet, really, really easy to fly, and it's way easier than what I'm doing right now. And I actually brought it with me today because we went to the aqueduct. And then yesterday, we went out to paint, but it was really, really windy, so I didn't fly it. But it's really pretty out yesterday. I assume it won't let you take off in certain areas, like state parks and such. Oh, it'll totally let you take off in state parks. It's not... Most of the drones, like the consumer-level cinema drones, have some kind of, what do they call it, like the invisible fences. I think DJI just disabled them on all their drones, like so that they're not there anymore. But even with the fences on, you could fly in national parks. Not condoning it. I did it a bunch before I knew that it was illegal. So I took a bunch of video flying in places I wasn't technically supposed to. And that was always kind of my excuse, is that, well, FAA doesn't let me fly. Like my drone just literally wouldn't take off if I was like too close to an airport or like in certain areas. Like we went to the Imperial Sand Dunes where they shot the sand barge scenes from Return of the Jedi. And last year? Yeah, I think it's beginning of last year. I think it was last year. Maybe it's 2023. I don't even know. We went to those dunes and I was going to fly the drone around and I couldn't even take off. And it turned out it was because it was right by the border. So like the Mexico border is right there. I mean, like not even a half mile away. You look over the dunes and then you can see the border, which is pretty crazy. But I've flown it in multiple state parks, again, prior to knowing. And, if you're in the middle of nowhere, nobody's around, I don't see the big deal, honestly. But yeah, you can take it off. With these little FPV drones, they don't have all the GPS stuff on them. They're really simple. They're basically like a receiver and a transmitter, and that's it. There's no GPS, anything. So it's just a straight radio control. So there's nothing to tell it not to fly places, which is kind of awesome. But empty day, got all these places. So yeah, but they are pretty freaking nice. Yeah, the DJI Mini I would definitely recommend. Really good. They got great range. They can stay in the air for like 25 minutes, so they fly for a long time, which is super cool. What am I doing? Factory. Let's do factory. I think that's the one I liked before, right? Factory. Let's go to this one. Tiny Trainer Day. Sorry, I'm gonna try to find a track that. There we go. Oh yeah, I remember this from. Okay. And the DJI ones have all these cool. There's a lot of cool modes. Like it can orbit around you, so you can, take off and just set it to pick a target, and it'll orbit around the target, and it's just nice. Flies real nice. It's not too loud, so it doesn't draw tons of attention. my Phantom 4 was a lot louder, and people would always look. Like if I was flying around, everybody's like, "Oh, there's a drone," and sometimes you don't want to do that. Plus, the Phantom 4 is, because it's small, it's kind of hard to see. So even if you hear it, you got to look around for it for a minute, which is good and bad. It's good as far as being a little bit stealthy with it, but it's kind of bad for I hate this track. But it's kind of bad for like just trying to track where you're at. Like if you're just trying to do line of sight, it's very easy to lose track of where it is. But the DJI ones are great because they have like the auto home features and all of that kind of stuff, which is I think really important. Where's the, what am I looking at here? Tech facility. I don't like that one's. Large car park, karting track. Large car park. Did I already check this one? I feel like sometimes I see these and there's some that I haven't seen before. I'm set to go watch Ahsoka with my partner, but I wanted to pop in and say hi. Would still love to get Alex Vargas contact. Yeah, I'll send you that. Just remind me, and I'll try to send something over. It's like a pretty simple email, but I'll send it over to you. You can show him the stuff and just say that. Just tell him I, told you to contact him. He's a really nice guy, and I think that they're glad to know people in different places, because if there's ever events and you're nearby, the chances that they'll use you for something goes up quite a bit. So, and also just keep them on the radar. Like if something comes up and you contact them, and say, hey, this thing's going on, they want a droid, just keep him in the loop for certain things, especially if it's like reasonably high profile. He'll appreciate it. They might tell you no, but at least you're like on their radar in a good way, so it's worth doing. Facebook, Instagram I see more, but Facebook, I don't know, either one. I'll know to look out. I'll try to look at the Facebook one. I don't have any alerts on either one of them, but I feel like I see the Instagram ones more often. But yeah, whichever one, or send it to both if you feel like it, and I'll just, whichever one I see first, I'll send you the info. And yeah, it's just good to be on the books there. God, man, I'm flying so bad tonight. I gotta go to a track that's more open. I'm not really feeling the flight tonight. I'm kind of like busy brain. And I'm definitely noticing that I'm just kind of crashing like crazy. Where is the factory? Which is the one that was cool? Factory? I saw that on football, future hangar, indoor golf, industrial wasteland. This is the one. This one's cool. Yeah, either one of those places, send it there, and I will. I'll be on the lookout, and I'll pass it along. Oh. I mean, good to know too, just because if you're good at wearing the costumes, they may have other things come up from time to time where potentially like they need somebody who can wear a different costume. Now, that isn't any kind of guarantees or anything, but it's chances are better than not if they have you in the books that people will see you, Oh, geez. And crashed again immediately. All right, let's see here. So that is that. And yesterday, Valentine's Day, and my wife and I went out and did some painting outside, some plein air painting, and we technically did it from the car because it was really windy and our little easels will probably get blown away. But where we went to, we're just driving around randomly trying to look for a good place to paint because the mountains are really pretty right now. There's like snow up there and the clouds were really beautiful. So we're kind of just driving around looking for a good spot to basically park and go paint some of the scenery. And we came across the little there's like these movie sets out in the middle of the desert. These little places that look like old hotels and stuff. And there's the one that was from the Lady Gaga telephone video with like Beyonce. They go to this diner in the middle of nowhere, and we found the diner just randomly. It was just hanging out in the middle of Antelope Valley, and I was like, hey, I think that's the diner from the Lady Gaga video telephone. Oh my god, I made it through backwards. Alright, I'm gonna fly slow. I see your message on both. Hope your night goes well. Thank you very much. And I will have shorts up. I wanted to post them today, but it's been like a little bit crazy. So trying to get the last little bits done, and then I'll be posting a video about shorts, showing the different versions that I'm going to be doing, and try to get them online as quickly as possible. And with the templates, I'll probably do a test version of the templates. I'll probably make a set just to make sure that my templates work as intended, and yeah, go from there. So I might be back on later tonight to work on some digital stuff in ZBrush, and I've got a torso, a 3PO torso in the works right now as well. I just started kind of smoothing out the surfaces, because when you scan things, the surfaces are a lot of times are just like lumpy, and there's the weird little things that are not part of the scan. It's just the way it interprets the data, and I feel like especially on things that are not super detailed, where like big smooth areas, there'll be like a little texture on the surface, and there are tricks to just auto smooth all of that, but when you auto smooth globally, it ends up destroying some of the details. So I typically will go smooth everything manually, and it's tedious, but the result is better. It is more accurate to scale and so forth if you do it that way. It doesn't screw up all the little edges, and the divots and the details are all preserved at the correct proportions, which I like. All right. Yeah, I feel like spacey today. I think just been a little bit crazy this weekend with everything, but I think it was okay. Oh my god, I made it. This board's kind of fun. It's small, but there are like a decent amount of places to fly through here, and it's challenging enough. Wow, look at that. It's challenging enough without being too huge. Like the Apocalypse board is still my favorite, but I think this might be my second favorite. This one's pretty neat. I feel like every time I fly around, I find some little nooks and crannies that I can pass through. Oops, crashed again. Let's see here. How am I looking? Off the ground. And zippy through. Yeah, this week has just been like, again, film industry this last month and a half has been very slow. I've had some work, but it's been like just not great this time of year. Not this time of year, this time in general right now. So I'm hoping that they get some production. They're like really rolling. There's a lot of casting things coming up, but you never know. Submit to all of them and see what comes back. We'll see. I think they're shooting Fallout right now, and it's not shooting too far, but a lot of the stuff is non-union, so I typically try to hold out for the union things, because the non-union days don't pay as well, and that ain't good. Plus, I don't even know how the deal works. I haven't done too many like mixed union and non-union sets in a while, but the last month it's been on a couple, which is strange because they treat the non-union people differently than the union people, and I didn't really realize that you know, at the time, because before I was in the union, I got all non-union jobs for the most part. And I didn't realize that they treat the union people so much differently, in a good way. But it's also like, wow, you can be nicer to the non-union folks. You know what I mean? Well, oh dang, didn't crash it out. Oh shoot, hit the ceiling. Hit the ceiling. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting better at this stuff. Not good yet, see? It's crashing constantly, but better-ish. And yeah, so yesterday we did plein air paintings. We did them in acrylic. But I think I'm going to get a set of oil paints to do those as well. It's really fun. I've wanted to do it for a long time, and I've never had a setup for it. So that was pretty nice. And then I got home, and I'm still like doing little touch-ups on my painting, and now it's like, it doesn't count. It's not plein air anymore. You're still working on the painting. But I don't know. I feel like if I got 80% of the painting done, and then I come home and just do some final little tweaks here and there, I don't see why that doesn't count. You see those like the Hudson Valley School, those guys that oh my God, what's his name? He went and he did all those paintings of like Yosemite and all that, and those were, you know, went there to paint in person, but there's so much detail. It's like there's no way he painted all that stuff in one sitting. Especially like to get the light, you know, whatever time of day, and you just get this like beautiful lighting and the scene, and like, I don't know, you can block it in. You got about 15 minutes to block everything in and get your colors kind of where you want them, and then from there it's just more like go back and then finesse the details using all the colors you put down while you're out there as your reference. Oh, crashed into the wall. Love it. I have all this crazy droids set up. I have all these droids down here, so I can have a cool backdrop when I do my droid shorts video. Oh shit. What's funny is whenever I was doing my ZBrush work and I was ZBrushing the C3PO shorts, those videos keep getting like partially demonetized. I get the little yellow money symbol, which means that, you know, monetization is like minimized for whatever reason. And I would contest it, and I'd have to have somebody manually review my video, and then they would fix it. But the thing is, everybody saw my video before the monetization was fixed. So it's like, I don't make much money off of YouTube, but it's nice to have like a little bit here and there trickling in. So, you know, when they take down a video and they turn off monetization at the time when the most people would look at it, that's kind of not cool. Kinda not the coolest thing. Oh shoot. So yeah, at the bottom you see little squares. You can kind of tell where my joysticks are at. You can see how I'm doing the maneuvers, which is cool. You can see like it looks like a set of glasses looking left and right. Oh. I did initially think about putting a camera over my hands, which I still might do. This little indicator down at the bottom is cool, but it's not quite the same as being able to see what someone does. Again, I don't know if it's helpful. I watched a lot of people fly where they had a camera on their hands, and it was fun to watch, but I don't think that I actually learned anything from it. It's too hard to kind of see what they were doing at the same time as watching the drone do its thing. So if I'm watching the drone and it does something, by the time I look down at the hands, that scene is gone. I'd have to rewind it to see, which I would never do. It's just easier just to go start figuring it out, I think. But I still found it entertaining to watch. Look at this freaking crazy shot. Alright, where's that helicopter? Did I ever fly through this thing? Oh my god. Never gonna make it through the helicopter. Oh, I crashed immediately. That's good. Oh, look at those pipes. Are they open? Can I get through those pipes? Oh my god, I might be able to. Let's see, where are those things? Oh. Alright, let's get out of here. I bet if I did this with a tiny loop, I could fly through that pipe. I think this drone might be too fast and clunky. McClunky. This feels like doing the Death Star run in Return of the Jedi with all like the little beams. Let me see if I can do a barrel roll through that opening here. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, I made it. Holy cow. Can I make this one though? Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing, but every time I go for that helicopter, I mess up. So, alright. The helicopter's right outside here. Oh, see, too tight. Let's try it again. We're gonna go through the factory and then through the helicopter. Through the factory. Now, through the helicopter. Oh my god, I made it. That was freaking sweet. Okay. Can I do it again? Through the factory. And through the helicopter. Oh my god, I did it twice in a row. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Alright. Can I do it again? And oh, fuck. Whoops, excuse me. I hit the prop. The propeller of the helicopter got in my way. Alright. Oh! I was getting too confident there. I was feeling pretty good about it. Alright, I'm going to zip through here. Zip around here. Zip around here. And go through the building. And hook this helicopter around. Oh my god, I did it again. Look at that. Look at that. So, those are the kind of things where I'm like, I'm seeing improvement, guys. I'm doing it. I'm getting better. I can tell. Oh, God. Until I say it out loud. And then I mess it up. Now, okay, we're winging through, and oh, I'm in the helicopter, and that's good. And pass through here. And, oh, I knew I wasn't getting at it, but I didn't crash. Look at that, I'm still going. Now, can I go through the roof? Oh, alright, let me see something here. I'm going to do it on time. 38 minutes left. Alright. I haven't been on here that long. Yeah, again, I'm trying to do like multiple projects around here, around the house. I brought all of this crap downstairs, and I got to redistribute it back into its home. So a lot of stuff that goes into my shop, and some stuff that goes up into my studio room, and like this whole setup. So I got to get back up there and finish out my wall section that I've been working on. It's been kind of untouched for the last week. It's kind of funny when I go in the room, I forget, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to finish this, because that room has been haven't really been in there very much. Cool. Oh my god. And oh man, under and over. Let's see how's it going over here. Yep, fun times. And trying to think what else is new. I am going to be put into another makeup tomorrow. Some kind of zombie-ish looking thing. It kind of reminds me of one that I've been in already. That was reminding me of the, what is it called, the Vecna from Stranger Things. It had a little bit of that look. I don't think it's necessarily ripped off from that, but it just kind of has that feel. And we're doing one tomorrow. I think it is similar. So we'll see. And then after that, I'm probably going to try to either do a bike ride or a run, because I've been slacking, and I have a marathon that I need to run. I got to make up for. Haven't had a chance to do that yet, and just kind of see. I don't think I'm gonna have time tomorrow, and then I think on Monday I have to get my teeth molded for another thing that I'm working on. And the last time I had my teeth molded was a couple years ago, and I have people still making monster teeth on those teeth castings. But since I got that, I got my wisdom teeth removed, so my teeth they're really crowded, especially my bottom teeth are really crowded. And when I got the wisdom teeth removed, some of my teeth have started kind of relaxing a little bit, so they're still super crowded, but they definitely have moved a little. So when I get teeth that are made off of my old castings, it's almost like putting on the wrong Invisalign trays or whatever, where it feels like it's forcing my teeth back into their old position, which is probably not the greatest thing to do, but I don't have to wear them for long, and it's pretty fun to have them. They still work fine. It's just, it would be more comfortable if I had a fresh set of castings of my teeth in March. I don't even know what it looks like yet. Oh, look at that. I got kicked off OBS Studio. It says it reconnected successfully. I didn't know it kicked off. Also, last night I took over 1,000 pieces of packing popcorn, but the kind that's made out of like cornstarch or something, so it's water soluble, and I stuffed over 1,000 of them in this like 1.5 liter bottle, and I think there's actually still room for some more. I'm guessing I could probably get another 200, 300 more in there without too much problem. So that was exciting. I took a video. It took me 32 minutes to get them all in there, so I'm going to post that just because it's ridiculous. And I did a sped up version of it down to like, I don't know, 30 seconds or something, so you can just see it quick and not have to watch me count them all. And I feel like I lost count. I think I'm actually closer to 1,100, but I wasn't sure where I was at when I was counting. I was like, man, I don't know if I would hit 900 or if I was coming up to 900. So I just chose the smaller number and went that way just in case. I'd rather be wrong but be over the amount than be wrong and be under, because then it's like, no, that's not accurate. But at least if I've gone over the amount, and I say an amount, then it's, you know, there's at least 1,000 in the bottle. But I think there's more like 1,100. Kevin Christie, you're getting better. Thank you very much. Did you see? I don't know if you've been watching. I got this thing now. Oh, of course, crashing immediately. I was doing this loop where I'd go through the building. Oh my gosh. Now I'm trying to show off and I'm messing up. Let me try it again. I'd go through here, go around the tree. What did I just hit? Did you see that? I don't even know I hit. I would cut through this building, go through the helicopter, if I can get it. Oh my God. See? I had a couple goes there that were pretty good. Oh my God. See if I can do it here. Oh, too much. I went under. I made it under, but I gave up because I thought I crashed. I'm trying to go through the door. So I'm doing like a high turn. And then, nope. I knew I didn't have that one from the beginning. And try again. Should be good. But yeah, so I got my bottle of, oh, I made it. There we go. Yeah. Oh my God. She's recovered. Look at that. So this thing looks like I'm supposed to fly around this tower all the way to the top and go through these. Again, when it's in race mode, it'll tell you which ones you need to fly through next. I really need to start doing that. I tried to do that at the beginning. I don't know if you're on here, but at the very beginning of the session, I tried to do a race, but it's just, I was not doing well. So I was like, you know what? I just need to practice some more and not worry about the racing side yet. Once I get really comfortable where I can just go back and forth through all these things, then Then I'll hit up the race courses, and I feel like the race courses are going to be really good, so I can get used to like doing these sharp kind of like crazy turns that they do, like this kind of stuff that I'm crashing. It gives me reason to get better at these kind of maneuvers. I'm like going through these guys. And up. And up. Cool. And that's pretty fun. So, does the drone stay hovered when you're off the stick, or does it drop? It basically, so the stick is one of these types where it stays where you leave it. But the drone, it'll either drop or rise depending on what you have. You can kind of dial it and it'll almost hover perfectly if you get it right, but it's never quite perfect. And that's, I think I talked about this before, but my first drone was the Storm Drone 6, and it basically did the same thing. It flew, it had the corrections to fly, so like with these, if I push to the left, it'll roll. But like on a DJI drone, if you push to the left, it'll kind of like, it'll just glide left, like strafing on a first-person shooter. And the Storm Drone 6 would do that, but the altitude was like very manual. It didn't have that like hover in place. It would hover in the same like coordinates, but not vertically. And this one is kind of reminds me of that. So it's definitely all control over the throttle. Can I make it? I don't know. I keep freaking out trying to make this thing. So like right now, like if I push up, it'll just keep going up. It's got some acceleration. I can dial it back a little. It's kind of going forward, and it keeps the attitude of where it is from front to back too. So if it's leaning slightly forward or back, it'll stay in that orientation. Oh my God, too close to the helicopter, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so can I make? Oh my God. And we'll see here what the deal is. It would be nice if I can go take my test in the next couple weeks or so. I don't know if I'm going to, but I got to call the Air Force Base is the closest place where they have testing, but I actually don't know if it's for civilians. If I go there, if I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. Oh, the motorcycles driving by are loud. So anyway, should be pretty cool. Should be pretty cool. And oh my God, I messed it up. I got to get to where I can just hit that helicopter every time, or not hit it, but pass through it, out hitting it. Ready? Do a wide turn, and then oh my God, in the helicopter again. Oh yeah. So anyway, yeah, this week is like semi-busy, and I submitted for multiple roles. Not anything good, just more like, background kind of lame stuff, but better than nothing. I did get a call from, or a text I should say, from a very famous makeup artist who talked about submitting me for something good. I don't know if I'll get it. I don't want to get too excited about it before it happens. So I'm trying to just keep level-headed, but it was cool that the guy thought of me, because he's got a lot of experience. He's worked on many famous people. So to get a call, or like I said, a text saying, hey, is it okay to submit you for this, is kind of cool. Makes me feel pretty good, like I did something right. And we'll see how that goes. If it happens, I don't even know if it'll be like, with my luck, it'll line up with something I'm doing in April, or like have some kind of crazy conflict. I'll have to not do a thing. But if it's what I think it is, it'd be worth it to skip out on other stuff. Oh my God, in the helicopter again. All right. And I'm going to cut through this side, then out this side, and then around, gentle, gentle, gentle. Oh my God, nope. I think what is happening is when I do the approach, I am accelerating so much as I come into it that I don't have time to correct. So maybe if I fly it out far, do a slow turn. Oh my God, I made it kind of. I bumped into stuff, but I made it through. Oh, hit that pole, hit a different pole. Yeah, this board's pretty fun. Oh, until I crash. So yeah, let me see. 25 minutes remaining, which means I'm technically 40 minutes in. And should be pretty good. I gotta make a proper YouTube video tonight, not a live video. I'm gonna do video about the new. Oh my God, I'm inside and I'm not crashed out. That's crazy. Doing a video about the new Droid shorts, so I can show people who haven't seen it yet on the 3PO Builder group and see what they have to say. Maybe they'll join into my Patreon and get some files I do not know yet. It's tough to say because I kind of going for a more authentic look on all of my 3PO parts that I'm going to post. And the current ones look really good, but they're a little perfect, like symmetrical and so forth. Again, nothing wrong with that at all, but they just don't quite feel the same. Flexi shorts. Well, they are kind of flexi. So I don't know if you saw the ones that I did. I think I showed them the other night, but I did them out of PETG. So they've got a decent amount of flex to them. They flex about as much as the vacuform shorts do, which is nice because they're stiff enough that they'll hold the paint real well, I think, but they're flexible enough that they have some give when you go to wear them. And I made a set out of TPU, and the TPU was way too flexible. I could thicken up the TPU in parts and kind of like adjust it so that it really, prints really stiff at the top and then more flexible at the bottom. Another thing I might do, I just now I'm thinking about this, is something that they did with on the first season Mandalorian, like all the background Mandalorian troopers, the helmets were made out of this really flexible urethane, really like real rubbery kind of stuff. And then what they would do is they vacuformed the shape of the head, just like a little thin, really bad, quick vacuform, and they put it inside the rubber helmet. It's not really rubber. It's more like a flexible urethane. I wouldn't quite call it rubber. It's more like a low durometer urethane resin, and the vac form would help it keep its shape so it wouldn't get distorted, but the resin that it's made out of was very, very, very sturdy, so if you dropped them or did anything, the helmet would never break. It's really, really strong, super impact resistant. And that oh my God, just made it through there. And I'm just thinking, if I did shorts like that where they're TPU outer, and then like the upper part of the shorts, like the diaper, like picture like the diaper shape, would have like a 3D printed insert, so that part would be stiff, but then the legs would still be really, really flexible. That could actually work really well. It's a little involved, but I mean, it could be a really good option. I might just try it just for fun. It'd be pretty interesting to see how that would work. Thought about testing home anodizing. Oh yeah, with like chemically with the metals, or like heat anodizing. So I've seen it done both ways, where it's like they expose the metal to a certain amount of heats, and then get those weird colors and stuff. And it's kind of an interesting process. I saw a company that was working on it. They were describing how like each color is kind of a very specific amount of time and a certain amount of heat to get a specific color. and then the chemical one's same kind of thing. Like you leave it in for so long, and then you got to pull them out. And then if you leave it in longer, it'll go past the color that you were going for. And that seems like a very tricky process to me. But they got it really dialed so they can get some consistent parts. Yeah, chemically it's 12 volt battery. That's pretty cool. Are you talking about like doing the electroplating, like with the metal, or are you doing like anodizing, like with like coloring the metal? Because I think that would be pretty awesome. Hang on one second, I got a thing. Let me see what this is. Somebody's writing my email, and oh, I got a thing. Fusion 360 is changing its storage. You can initiate the upgrade process by now selecting a self-start process. They're changing like how the files are stored in Fusion, and honestly it kind of freaks me out because I mean it's probably fine, but I have all these files in there and I'm always worried like if they want to transfer the files to this new storage method, and I'm just like, man, if I change it and then I lose all my work, that would be not very good. So I don't know how to, I gotta look and see how I can back up the files locally just in case stuff goes wrong. I have a lot of files on there that I want to back up, but I don't have a lot of files. I have probably like 40% of the files that I've done on there I'd want to back up. I've got a bunch of them that are just I'll never look at again. So if they got lost, I wouldn't care all that much. But oh, crashed into the thing on the bottom. They want to get you paid tier. It's not even a paid thing. It's just like the file handling is just they changed the thing, so it's not. I think I'm still in the same boat with like the unpaid version. They just, instead of having that like these original folders that all the files were in, they're changing the way that is set up. So I've read it like 10 times and I'm just so nervous about doing the upgrade because I'm like, well, I gotta go copy my files at bare minimum before, because motorcycles going by are so loud. Gotta bare minimum, I gotta copy all my files before I try to upgrade, and that's cool. It makes me, again, I'm nervous. I'm always just like, what if they lose it, or what if it, what is that? It goes the doorbell. I don't know what that is. Natalie probably ordered some food or something. Grocery shopping online. Hang on a second. I gotta check and see. A bit of both. Yeah, Adobe sucks. They wanted. That's the thing. Adobe is just like. It is very, very annoying what they've done. I mean, I've been trying to steer away from Adobe products. I think the last one that I still use, I did some stuff in After Effects like a year ago, and I had to bite the bullet and get After Effects stuff for a little bit. And what is this? Hang on a second, I gotta see what this person is. Some lady is dropping off groceries. Got the After Effects for a little bit, just for a project I was on where the client was using After Effects. And I think a lot of the stuff that I would do in there now I could do in DaVinci, which is cool. And I use DaVinci now for editing instead of Premiere, because I use Premiere forever. So I don't do Premiere, don't do DaVinci. When I do these templates for the droid shorts that I'm working on, I'm probably gonna have to use Illustrator unless I can find an alternative that is also vector based. But I do not want to really. I don't want to do anything with Adobe. I just think that the whole process of what they've done has turned so shifty. It's like you can't just cancel your subscription anytime. They make it very difficult, and then they can charge you for like the rest of the year because it's part of the agreement. It's really messed up, and it's a hard thing to break, which it shouldn't be like that. It's supposed to be like professional software, and if if they're not going to let you buy it, they shouldn't force you to pay for it every month and make it difficult to turn off. That's a very unprofessional way to be. So it's I think they had that thing where they're just like the top dog for so long, and now there's some other programs coming up that can do the same work. So I think that last release, when they had their, like 6 months ago, and they had that thing, they auto updated everybody's programs, but then they had a new what do you call it, like the licensing agreement. And basically they screwed people because they automatically updated the software, but then you couldn't use it unless you agreed to the licensing agreement. And in the licensing agreement, it was like, hey, we're allowed to look at your data and basically use your work to train our AI. And if you're working under NDA with a client, it might literally be breaking the client's NDA to accept the terms of service for the new Photoshop. And that's a really, really screwed up position to put a client in. You should basically that should be out before they they should figure that out, at least put those terms out before, so you can say, well, I don't want to upgrade, I'm going to keep the old version because I don't want to agree to those terms. And they didn't do that, and I think that's really messed up. And there's a lot of backlash about that. And currently, we still have Photoshop here. I use it every once in a while. I use it just barely enough that we keep it. But I think if I find a good alternative to Photoshop, there's like GIMP, and there's a couple other ones that people say are good, I would stop using it, which is a shame. I've used Photoshop since version 2.5. Since before there were layers in Photoshop, I've used Photoshop a long time. And just that whole thing where it's, I don't know, it's just so lame. It's so lame that they would do that. I also just hate subscription-based stuff because, if you're traveling, you're somewhere where you don't have internet, and you just want to pop on and do some work, and now you can't open your program because it doesn't have an internet connection. That is not cool. And if you didn't remember to, check out the program beforehand or check out your license so that you can travel, it's really lame. It's really, really lame. Oh my God, crashing constantly. Crashing constantly. Let's look over here. So editing in DaVinci, which, speaking of the editing, I have a video that I did in April, the end of April last year, that is almost done editing, but I keep forgetting to finish it up because it's kind of long, and it's when I was in the middle of doing it, I got my channel got demonetized, so I put it on hold and figured I'd come back to it once my channel got monetized, which it has, but now I just have to sit there and go through this whole stupid video again. See if all my clips are still in place and all this and that, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. It was for my Leona Divide, my first 100-mile ultra marathon that I did last April, which I'd kind of like to do again this year, but I gotta see, they're not cheap, and I have plantar fasciitis in my left foot right now, which feels like it's getting better, but it still gets sore from time to time, and I don't want to re-trigger it after being easy on it for months and months, and then automatically just set it back to square one. Would not be good. I've kind of been slacking on my running for the last few months, but yeah, I wanted to put up the video for my first 100-miler, and then also I'm not making this again. I did some videos with some of the gear that I used for my race, and just talking about my training and stuff, separate videos that I was going to put out at the same time, and those are already filmed and actually on my YouTube, but they're just unlisted currently until this other video comes out, because I wanted them to all link to each other, and so they're just sitting there. I got 3 or 4 other videos related to that race video that are just hidden. And that's the thing with doing this YouTube channel that's been tricky for me, is like I don't do a lot of stuff that's like viral kind of videos, except maybe the shorts that have done real well in that regard. But my other videos, I'm just talking about random stuff all the time. And even within the random stuff I want to talk about, the audiences are like split up really bad. I'll make stuff sometimes, or I'll paint stuff, or talk about riding bikes or running or some shoes. It's just like all over the place. But that's just how my own life is. I feel like, what can I do if that's what I want to talk about? I just got to talk about it. I try not to be clickbaity or anything with my titles, so that people aren't logging in and looking at like, you'll never guess what happened, and then just make them watch some crappy video about me opening some shoes or something. That would be not real cool. I am not a fan. There's like a level of clickbait that's okay, like if it's actually pertains to what's being said in the video or what it's about. But when it's just super vague and then they're trying to get you to watch it, man, that annoys me. Especially when it's like a YouTuber I've watched for a long time, and then they start getting into doing that, and I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? Is this YouTuber that I like gonna quit YouTube or something? Or what's the deal? And then you watch it, it's some stupid video, and I got tricked into watching it. So that's never cool. It's never cool. Oh my god, where am I going? Alright, I'm gonna go around the block here. And whoa. I'm try to get through this helicopter. Oh my god, I don't know what it is. You can see me physically leaning around trying to not crash, which is silly. Oh my god, made it, and I still made it. Yay, alright, made it. Can't stop me, I am invincible. Oh, look at that. See that little concrete pipe down there? Can I get through that? It's a steep wall on the other side. Oh my god, I almost made it. Made it through the pipe. Oh, whoops. That was real smooth. Going up and over. Alright, the pipe is right. There's that one. Where are the other ones? Oh yeah, they're right there. Okay, can I get it? Through and up. Oh my god. So I'm trying to go through the pipe and then up real quick on the other side. What was that over here? There's the helicopters. And where'd the thing go? I don't know. There it is. Okay, so maybe if I hit it from this side, can I do it this way? Oh god. Smooth move, X-lax. Oops. Alright. So, it's behind me. Okay, when I take off, it's back this way. Oh. Okay, I'm going to try to go really slow and see if I can pull up fast enough on the other side. I made it! Look at that. Alright, can I go again? Alright, that's not so bad. That one's pretty easy. Look at that. Alright guys, I'm messing up, I'm still crashing, but I think you can tell that I'm making some improvements here if you've been following for a while. And through the thing, and then crash immediately, because awesome. Oh boy. But yeah, anyway, gotta put those YouTube videos together. Got the ones for the shorts. I'm just trying to get back in the habit of making videos and then try to schedule enough time to edit things so that all the videos I make aren't just like, here's the thing real quick and then post it, which I have done a lot because I just want to get a video out, but I don't really have time to sit and edit through all this stuff. But it's currently it's been slower, so I'm not out on set very often in the last like month and a half. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that and get some edits done so I can put together more quality content. At least make it so it's interesting. Some nice little like B-roll footage and so forth. Oh my god. That'll be good. And then when I go to, and again in April, going to Florida to play a show in Miami. And right after that I get back and then go to Japan. So I'll be going to Star Wars Celebration for one of the days, and then for the other days we are going to go basically do touristy kind of stuff. I think that we're going to Kyoto, which should be fun. And if you go from Tokyo to Kyoto, it's probably like 2 hours on a bullet train, and those trains are freaking cool. They look cool. Like when you're at the station and those trains pull up, they look like they're out of the future. The front of the train is super weird. It looks like a jet or something. Very neat. Very, very, very neat. Oh, I bumped into the rotor. Not good. And made it kind of. Yay! And then what else? I've got a bunch of scans to clean up. 3PO scans that I got to just go through, and like I was saying before, I got to do this slow manual kind of cleanup on them to really get the detail to be as good as possible without losing anything, and that kind of global smoothing. There's one, it's in ZBrush, there's in the deformers there's like a smooth option, but the one that actually works better for that kind of like noise that you get with 3D scanning is one called contrast. And when you turn it down, it smooths the surface, but it averages between all these shapes. Have you been to Japan before? Yes, I've been to Japan twice. I went in 2013. We went to Japan, and then I was just there in December for a few days for a job, and I got to like basically hang out for one day afterwards, but the other days I was working. But I love Japan, and I've been doing like probably like on day 155 or something of Duolingo, doing Japanese lessons, because I knew we were coming back in April, so I've been just trying to learn as much Japanese as possible before April. And going last month was kind of, not last month, December. Jesus, it feels like last month. Yeah, going in December was pretty last minute, so I probably found out like, I don't know, 10 days before I was going to go, maybe a week before. And so I had a few months of the Duolingo under my belt, plus years ago I did Pimsleur stuff to learn a little bit of Japanese. But it was kind of nice because I got to test out what I was saying to see if people could understand me, if I was pronouncing things properly and so forth, and you know what I could remember, because when I'm on the spot my brain just goes blank. So even though I've learned like an okay amount of words, not really enough to have like a real conversation, but enough where I can kind of understand what someone's trying to say to me, or if someone's trying to ask me something, I can at least maybe nod my head depending on what it is, like basics. And just learning some of the different types of writing, which is, at first I was like, I don't know where I'll use this, but then actually going to Japan and seeing there's a lot of stuff where it's written in like there's like kanji and hiragana and oh my god, what's the other one? There's like multiple writing forms, and they kind of mix and match them depending on just, I guess, whatever's easiest to do. So I could read some of the words, and I don't know the words, okay, but the hiragana is like all kind of based on phonetical sound. So if you know what the letter looks like, you could tell what sound it is, so you could kind of put a word together. And what was really handy is that you would see the word in English, and then it would have the word in Japanese, And if you can read those letters, you could sound out the word and kind of start to learn things. There's a lot of words that I don't know, but I could just see them written out. But I don't know enough of the lettering quite yet to do all of it. It would be like I would make out like 45 or 50% of a word, and then there would be something I just didn't know. So I was like, I don't know what this symbol is. I don't know. And but since then, even just since mid-December, I've like learned a bunch more. So I'm curious to see how I'll do in April. I'm sure I'll probably still want to do a bunch. Love Japan. I wish I could go to Celebration this year. Oh my gosh, yeah, Celebration in Japan is going to be fun. I'm only going to be there for one day. Have you been to any of the other Star Wars celebrations? I think I've been to all the ones in the United States since 2012. But I have never been to Europe or any of that, so I'm kind of excited to go to one that's overseas and just see how it is. I think it's going to be super fun. And the way our trip is scheduled, we're actually going to be there right in the middle of the trip, which is fine. I think we're going to go to Tokyo Sea before, and then do some stuff around Tokyo, and then afterwards we're going to go to, oh, that's my timer. Afterwards we are going to go to Kyoto, I believe, and stay there, do touristy stuff for a few days. The first time we went in 2013, we stopped in Kyoto real briefly to like on the train and change trains to go to Nara, and Nara was so freaking cool. Oh, you went to one of them. Which one did you go to? Was it in California, or I'm trying to remember. Since then, there was a couple in Florida. There's been 2012 was in Florida. 2015 was in California, and 2017 I think was in Chicago. And then 2019 maybe was back in Florida. And I think I'm skipping a year. I feel like there was like a gap, like a 3 years a gap in one of them. I can't remember. And then there was another one in Anaheim. The last one I think that I went to was in Anaheim, I think. And then they did, if I remember correctly. But yeah, they did. Oh my God, I made it. Celebration Europe. And I feel like they skipped over the States again and are doing like Europe, and then they're doing Japan. And so the Japan one was announced, and I was like, man, that'd be really fun. And I kind of was just same thing. Like to justify going on just to go to Celebration was kind of like, I don't know. It's expensive, so I'll get out. But my wife's like, well, you want to go? We could go to Japan. We'll just make a trip out of it. And we'll go do some other stuff. I was like, okay. So we bought the tickets. So I'm going to be there on Saturday of the convention. But I don't know. I need to, like, actually tomorrow I'm going to try to look and see about how to get on panels, because I might be able to do a panel or two there and maybe offset the cost of my ticket. Maybe I could sell my ticket to someone else, because I think Saturday is sold out now. So if I could get on a panel and then sell my ticket to someone else, I mean, someone else could get in, and then it would be fun for me. I like talking about that stuff a bunch. It'd be fun to answer questions and so forth. Type I meant to write none. Oh my gosh, none. Okay. Well, they're very cool. If you like Star Wars stuff, like I do, I'm a freaking dork. So I like Star Wars Celebration a lot. Had a lot of fun going to these things, and yeah, it's been had a very good time. I don't know what part of the country you're in or where you're at. Maybe you're in another country. I don't know. But are you near to where Celebration happens, or is it far away? 'Cause that's the thing for me, is like being able to travel to go to them. Like when they had in Chicago, I went and I worked for Regal Robot, so they fronted my my tickets and my hotel and all that stuff, which is really nice. And same with the last one in Florida was the same thing. I worked with Regal Robot, and Tom Spina that owns Regal Robots, just like such a great dude, and basically just got it all set up, and it was pretty cool. And then the California ones, did I work one of them? I think I just went to hang out. And the first one in Florida, I just went, same thing for fun. I had a very, very good time. Texas. What part of Texas are you in? I've been to Texas a couple times. I've been to Houston for a 3PO gig, actually, for like a thing. They got flown out for that, and then I've been through Texas twice. When I moved from Florida to California, I've driven from Florida to California twice. I've never driven back the other way. So I've been through Texas a couple times, and I stopped in like San Antonio and El Paso, and did we stop in Houston? I think we drove past Houston. We might have stopped for gas or something. But if I remember correctly, maybe we didn't go to Houston. I used to do architectural renderings for a long time, and there were multiple buildings that I did, images for that were in Houston that I never saw them finished. And then when I went to Houston, we were driving to the airport, and I saw two of the buildings that I'd done artwork for before they were built. They were there, and it was kind of neat because that's a lot of times I would, at that job, I would make illustrations for places, and then they would just get sent away. I would never see the buildings or any of that stuff, so that was pretty cool to see. Oh, Houston, right on. Houston's crazy because it's like, what is it, like two downtowns, or maybe three. I just left the airport, and it was like, you drive by and it looks like we're passing downtown, and it's like, oh no, we're going to the other downtown. And there's like the whole, what is it, the Houston Medical Center, which looks like a downtown, but it's all like hospitals and medical buildings and all that stuff. And one of the hotels I stayed at was right there. So you look out and it looks like I'm downtown, but it's like all medical buildings. It's crazy. Another thing with Houston is I'm originally from Florida, and Houston felt so much like Florida. When I was there, I would see the Texas license plates on all the cars, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of Texas plates. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in Texas, because right downtown and midtown. Yeah, exactly. But it's like the same kind of humidity, especially when I lived in West Florida, like Tampa has like the same kind of oak trees. The humidity is like identical. It just felt like being in Florida, and it was trippy in my brain. I just like, oh yeah, I'm in Texas. I had to keep reminding myself. It was weird. And the place I was at was this jewelry store called Velocidrone. Is that right? It's like apparently like a really nice area. There's a lot of fancy houses and stuff near there. But this guy, John Hoteling, that I know, who's very, very wealthy guy, and has a bunch of really cool Star Wars props, like actual screen used props, and they did a little exhibit at this jewelry store, and they had screen used 3PO or screen production made 3PO parts that were like these resin cast heads. I actually have pictures of them on my computer right now. I think I've got pictures of the exact one this guy has. They had like some of the Cantina masks that were real ones, like a Bith helmet and a Duros, and a Bith mask and a Duros. One of the appearance Darth Vaders from like Empire Strikes Back era, Lucasfilm appearance Vader, which were basically screen accurate, but they were made to do, again, they're made for appearances when they would have like publicity stuff. He had, what else? There's a bunch of stuff there. It's really neat. But they just wanted to have the droids, so they flew me out to be C-3PO for the thing, and it was cool. It was quite fun. And Texas is like good in the middle right there, so if they had a celebration in the States again, you're talking like I'm guessing it would probably be the next ones would probably be either Florida or California. It's typically the ones that they do. Chicago is real fun, and Chicago is a neat city, and it's also one of those cities that I feel like if I had money to go to a city and I didn't live in any of the cities, I would either go to New York or Los Angeles. Those are like the two that I would pay to go to. And in Chicago is awesome, but it's like if I had the money, I would just go to New York and not Chicago. But it's fun to go to Chicago. So anytime I got an excuse to be there, it's great. I enjoy it. I don't know if I would just go there to like visit. I feel like the crime's gotten really bad there too, which is a little freaky. But Chicago's fun. But when I went there for Star Wars Celebration last time, I basically spent the entire trip at the convention center. We went to the convention center, and then the hotel was attached to the convention center, so it was like I didn't leave. And it was I want to say it was in May, but it snowed while I was there, and that was really cool because I'm from Florida originally, so we don't get to see a lot of snow. So that was freaking fun. That was fun. I also, just before that, had tried to make some paint. I was trying to come up with my own blend to make some cool metal paints, kind of like All-Clad. And I was doing some experiments, and I lost my sense of smell because apparently the chemicals I was mixing did something to my nose. And so for a couple weeks, I couldn't smell anything. This is before COVID or anything, so it wasn't like I had COVID, but it was the same thing where I had no sense of smell. And right across from the booth I was working at, there was a place that was making R2-D2 popcorn makers. And everybody I was working with was like, oh my God, the popcorn smells so good. I'm like, I don't smell anything. I couldn't smell the popcorn until the very last day. I got this tiny little hint of the popcorn smell. I was like, oh my God, there it is. Anyway, are you bringing anything to Celebration this year? I probably not going to bring too much. You know what I am going to bring? I take that back. I'm going to make some little like trinkets to give away to people who come and find me. If someone knows me and they want to meet me or they find me around there, I'm going to give them some 3PO parts, some real small parts. I have a big box full of like little greebly bits. I could probably go get it. I have tons of them. And what it's from is that I would make a bunch of castings of things, and then I have the molds for all the 3PO, like the little details on the arms and all that kind of stuff. And whenever I'd make other resin pieces, I would always pour the extra resin into those molds. So I have tons and tons of these little 3PO little greebly bits. And I'm going to basically just paint them gold and stick them on a business card and just have a big old bag of them. And if anybody comes and finds me and they meet me or whatever, I'm going to give them a 3PO part on a little card. And I think that could be kind of cool. I think that would be cool. And I've got some other bits that I've done for when I did 83 for Jedi Temple Challenge. I made these little versions of the head, like it's like a bust that I can print, and I might do a handful of those because but I don't know. It just depends on time and so forth. But those are already loaded into one of my printers, so I just hit go, and it makes about 6 of them at a time. And I could just stockpile them as I'm doing other things. So I might make like 20 or 30 of those and just have them in a bag. And then, if I meet up with people or whatever, then I'll hand them out. It should be pretty fun. Let me see here. But oh my gosh, I am actually over my freaking time on my clock, so I'm gonna log off, but I might be back on in a little bit to do real work, do some ZBrush stuff, and I'm gonna stop flying this drone for right now. And let me see, am I still on here? Oh no, that's me, yay. Stop flying the drone for now, and then get back to real work, do some ZBrush. I gotta make videos, I gotta edit some stuff. But I might be back on while I do ZBrush. So, if you're around and you want to hang out with me while I do ZRush, that'd be cool. So thank you everybody, stop by, and I'll be back in 2 days, day after tomorrow, for more of this drone stuff, and I'll probably be on and off doing ZRush in the meantime, depending on just when I sit down. I'll probably just stream it. So feel free to pop in, say hi, all that stuff, and I will talk to you kids soon.